Welcome to a quick review on solving equations with integers. There are two important rules that we must use while solving these equations. The first one is the term combining rules. Make a quick T-chart here. If we have the same color chips or the same type of units, we add them. For example, a -5 plus a -2. A loss of 5 and a loss of 2 make a loss of 7. You find the sum of the negative amounts. Please take down these notes and add them to your paper. However, if we have different color chips, we actually end up finding the difference and subtracting. For example, a +10 combined with a -7. Well, clearly we have more positives than negatives, so we find the difference, and our result is a +3. When you use this rule, you will circle your pot of chips or your bank account as you term combine. And next, rule number 2 is the rule we use for multiplying and dividing integers. These are the Margar faces. Please draw the faces very quickly on your paper. And remember, when the signs are the same, Margar will have a positive result, whether you're multiplying two numbers or dividing two numbers. If the signs or the units are the same, you'll get a positive result. However, when one is negative and the other is positive, the order doesn't matter, you will get a negative result. We're going to use these rules as we solve the equations below. Let's start with A and B. Drop a dotted line down each equation. The equations look fairly similar. However, there are a few critical differences. Let's start by solving for M in letter A. We're going to get rid of the first term, +4. Let's put a loss of 4 there, a loss of 4 there. These opposites zero out. Circle your pot of chips and refer to rule number 1. We have the same color chips or the same units. So in this case, we're going to add up the negatives. When you take the sum of -12 and -4, you get -16. So we have 2m equals -16. Now we need to get rid of the coefficient 2. Well, divide both sides by a +2. These will 1 out, and m is now alone. But over here, please draw the Margar face. It's a negative and a positive. A -16 divided by a +2. Her eyes are different. You're going to get a negative result. 16 divided by 2, well, that's 8. So the answer to this one is m equals -8. Let's move on to B, which looks fairly similar, but in our first case, we're still solving for M, and we need to get rid of a loss of 4. Do the opposite and add 4 to the left, add 4 to the right, and circle your bank account, your pot of chips. These opposites zero out, and we use the rules up here in term combining. We have different color chips or different units being combined here. A loss of 12, but a gain of 4 means we're going to subtract to find the difference. So, when we subtract, on this side we have our 2m term, but over here, a negative 12 combined with a positive 4, you get a negative 8. That's the difference. Now again, we're going to divide both sides by a positive 2. M equals, in this case, draw the Margar face again. We have a negative 8, but a positive 2. That means our result will be a negative 1. 8 divided by 2 in this case is 4. Now let's take a look at C and D, which also look similar. Let's take a look at letter C. Drop a dotted line down each equation and prepare yourself to solve. We know we're solving for the letter M, so let's eliminate the gain of 4 by dumping a negative 4 here and a negative 4 here. These opposites zero each other out, but circle your bank account chips. A negative added to a negative, we're going to add up all the negatives, and we get negative 16. Over on the left side, we're going to bring down negative 2m equals negative 16. Now it's our job to get rid of the negative 2. So when you divide, you have to divide by a negative 2 on both sides. That creates the 1. We want it out. And over here, take a moment to draw the Margar face. A negative divided by a negative, put 2 negative i's. She's happy, so she has a positive result. 16 divided by 2 is 8. In this case, M equals a positive 8. And our last problem, letter D. You're still solving for the variable M. We need to get rid of minus 4. We're going to add 4 to both sides and circle our chips. Zero this out. On the left side, you're left with negative 2 times M. On the right side, as we look at our bank account and our chips, we see we have some negative loss and a gain of 4. So we're going to subtract here. We know we're going to have negative chips left over, but the difference between 12 and 4 is 8. Negative 8 is what we have on the right side. Now to finish out, we're going to divide both sides by this coefficient, a negative 2 on the left, but also divide the negative 8 by negative 2. M equals, take a moment and draw the Margar face. We have 2 negative i's, which means we're going to get a positive result. So we know the answer is going to be positive. 8 divided by 2 is 4. In this case, our M is positive 4. This concludes the review of solving equations with integers.